and welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Let's follow. President Gelle meets his Kenyan counterpart in Washington. Signing of the financing agreement for the emergency project response to the food security crisis. Ministry of Social Affairs and the World Bank. And on the international scene, at least 55 dead in Kinshasa floods in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Those were our major top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. On the sidelines of the Africa-US Leaders Summit, the President of the Republic, His Excellency, Mr. Ismail Omar Gelle, met with his Kenyan counterpart, Mr. William Ruto. This meeting served as a framework for the development of a general inventory of areas around which the two countries wish to increase their cooperation and strengthen bilateral ties between the two countries. The strengthening of the level of economic and commercial exchange were also discussed. The head of state and his Kenyan counterpart did not fail to emphasize the importance of this summit to revive the Africa-America partnerships and strengthen a mutual beneficial cooperation for both countries and peoples. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, as well as the Ambassador of Djibouti to the United States and the Ambassador of Ethiopia, as well as the diplomatic advisor of the President, took part in this audience. The Prime Minister and Head of Government by interim, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, received late morning the new ambassador accredited to Djibouti from the state of Qatar, Mr. Rashad bin Shafi' Al Tawhidiya. The new deployment welcomed the place of choice and leadership that the Republic of Djibouti occupies in the Horn of Africa. He indeed emphasized his willingness to significantly deepen relations between Djibouti and Doha, including airport infrastructure. The Prime Minister and Head of Government by interim, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, welcomed the new diplomat and assured him of his full availability and that of the Djiboutian government in the accomplishment of his mission during this term. The meeting was attended by the head of the Prime Minister's office, Mr. Ali Silai, the technical advisor in charge of the Arab world to the Prime Minister, Mr. Hassan Ibrahim Abdullahi, and finally, the head of affairs of the Embassy of Qatar in Djibouti, Mr. Saif Majid Al-Mansouri. The Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Madam Lufa Ismail Abdou, and the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Muhammad Ahmad Awali, participated on Wednesday, December 14, in the signing of the financing agreement and the emergency project in response to the food crisis security between the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawale, and the resident representative of the World Bank in Djibouti, Mr. Boubacar Said Bare. This important event was held at the office of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. The emergency project, whose management is entrusted to the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, is funded by the World Bank to the tune of $20 million. This project comes in the wake of multiple exogenous crises that have hit the country, such as the recurrent droughts, the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the disruption of conflicts in Ethiopia and Ukraine. These effects have disrupted the socio-economic situation of the country, the food supply, and led to soaring food prices. Through this project, which complements the $30 million Emergency Social Protection Project, MAS and the Ministries of Trade and Agriculture, in partnership with the World Bank, are working together to build a resilient society ready to cope with shocks. The Minister of Agriculture and Livestock, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Awal, extended his thanks and gratitude to the World Bank for this funding, which aims to strengthen the resilience of farming pastoral communities. In the same context and in her speech on the occasion, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdou, addressed the importance and objectives of this agreement, which has a value of $50 billion. In turn, the Minister of Economy and Finance, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawale, indicated that this support constitutes the second phase of assistance provided by the World Bank. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and UNICEF representative Mrs. Beth Dastel have co-led the work of a meeting to present the Master Plan for Education and Training 2021-2035, with all the members of the local group of education partners who took part in this meeting to endorse the Master Plan of Education and Training. It should be said that the Master Plan of Education and Training is built around several guidelines, namely the consolidation of access and equity with a view to universal enrollment in Djibouti by 2025. the quality of educational provision at all levels, from early childhood to higher education, a concerted governance of the sector based on factual and reliable data, on a clearly defined framework of results, and on regular assessments at all levels. At the end of the discussions, the members of the local group of education partners, the partner ministers, as well as civil society organizations and parents associations signed the Education and Training Master Plan of 2021-2035. In his opening remarks, the Ministry of National Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, stressed that this master plan has been drawn up on the basis of broad consultations with all education partners, as well as actors in the education system, for example, teachers, parents, students, and empowered actors in civil society. After the reception in the office of the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Her Excellency Dr. Hibu Mu'min Asowi, the Director General of the Academy of Science and Industrial Technology and President of the NGO WAMI, Mr. Masariar Muhammad Sef, accompanied by his project director, Mr. Abdul Walid Ali Aden, gave way to the donations offered by the NGO WAMI. This donation, consisting of about 40 sewing machines, about 30 balls, and a dozen of nets to support the project of youth development, was installed in the various premises of the Community Development Center of Section 5 in order to give free access to the youth and the community. This reception was attended by the representatives of the MJC and the president of the NGO WAMI in the company of its project director. The traditional family photo closed this fruitful event. On Wednesday, December 14, 2022, after submitting the figurative copy of his credentials to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Iraq, Dr. Fuad Mohammed Hussein, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Hussein Umar presented his credentials to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Iraq, Dr. Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, in the capacity of Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Iraq, non-resident in Baghdad. During his meeting with His Excellency the President of Iraq, the Ambassador of Djibouti conveyed the warm frontal greetings and congratulations of the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Umar Gelle. The ambassador praised the excellent foreign relations that unite the two countries and expressed his willingness and determination to work further to strengthen these ties. The President of the Republic of Iraq, Dr. Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, welcomed the ambassador and assured him of the support and permanent availability of all the Iraqi high authorities to assist him in a succession of his mission. Still in the national constant, and this Wednesday, December 14, 2022, at around 11 a.m., the International School of Criminal Investigation, located at PK23, hosted the closing ceremony of two international courses, including that of Criminal Identification Technician, ICT, and that of Director of Investigation. These courses began respectively on October 23, 2022, for the ICT and November 13, 2022, for the permission of the Director of Investigation. Chaired by the Attorney General of the Republic, Dr. Jama' Suleiman Ali, the event saw, in addition to Colonel Zakaria Hassan Aden, Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie, the participation of senior officials of the National Gendarmerie. The Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie invited the attending personalities to an official lunch in the conference sector of Hosh Roble Idle. The presentation of gifts to the trainees and the traditional family photo closed this event. The semi-final of the World Cup 2022 in Qatar, which had opposed the team of Morocco against the team of France, ended by a decisive victory of the team of the coach of Didier Deschamps, the Blue Ones of France, which gained their semi-finals against Morocco 2-0 to join Argentina in the finals. The long-awaited match was followed by many young soccer fans on the big screen projection in different sides of the capital as in the interior regions, namely Dekhil, Ali Sibih, Arta Tajura, and Oboh, Hayu. This initiative comes from the Ministry of Sports, which continues to lead its efforts for the development of young soccer enthusiasts. The team of reporters of the RTD crisscrossed some districts of the capital, such as the municipalities, the sport complex of King Fahad, the districts of Salama, and etc. And they noticed that the atmosphere was festive because soccer is a vector of peace, union, fraternity, friendship, and living together. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, our blood viewers, at least 55 people died Tuesday in Kinshasa in floods caused by heavy rains, according to a provisional assessment communicated by General Silvano Kasongo, head of the police of the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo. These floods also caused important material damage and submerged in the beginning of morning until the big streets of the center of the megalopolis of about 50 million inhabitants. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you once again.